Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Another day, another scholarship. So today I'm bringing you scholarships from the beautiful country of Australia. So we've done a number of scholarships already in Australia, and the major constraint presently is the fact that international students are restricted from traveling into the country for a number of reasons. But now I'm happy to announce that a number of universities in Australia are making provisions for international students to join them latest next year. So while you're applying for these positions, also try to mention that you're willing to begin your course remotely if you're unable to travel to Australia immediately if the restrictions still hold. So that's an important point to note if you're trying to apply to Australia. There is an embargo against international students because of the lockdown in the country. But these universities, they need international students. They're trying to look for ways to circumvent the present hurdle. So if you're interested in Australia, do not despair. These are international scholarships targeted at you. If you can't start in person by next year, show them that you can start a part of your research or a part of your studies remotely in your home country. And when the lockdown is removed, you can move to Australia. So let's go straight into this video. So I have a number of PhD and master's scholarships in several universities in Australia. I have at some prominent names you've seen already, names like University of Sydney, for instance. Names like Griffith University. You have University of this is the University of Southern Queensland. You have Monash University. You have Deakin University. So there are a number of universities here. And by the way, if you've not created a Grammarly account already, I think this is a good time to do so. Grammarly is a free online essay editing software that will help you edit your essays, your email to professors, your statement of purpose, because these are some of the documents you'll be needing to submit in this scholarship. So there's a link below this video where you can open a free Grammarly account, and Grammarly will help you edit your essays, check your wordings, check your sentence structure to give it this sharpness and clarity. Use the link in the description box of this video to open a free account. There's also a premium account for those who have the money to pay for more and personalized service. So let's move to the scholarship. So the first one we're looking at is at the Griffith University in Australia. This is the Australian Government Research Training Program. This scholarship is worth 28,597 Australian dollars per annum. And you want to look out for the deadlines. I think we should just rush the deadlines immediately because it's actually not so far away, I must say. So the deadline at this particular university, Griffith University, is on the 28th of September. So if you're interested in this university, I think you shouldn't waste time and start your application as soon as possible. So this is a master's or PhD scholarship, depending on which one you prefer. Masters and PhD. There is something here about the duration. For masters, 2 years. Masters by research, 2 years. For a PhD, it is 3 years. And you could get an extension of 6 months in case you're not able to finish your research in that period of time. So I also need to emphasize that these scholarships are for research programs. So masters by research or PhD. I've talked about this distinction between a research master's and a taught master's in the past. But in case you're new to this channel, in case you do not know the difference, for research masters, you are graded mostly on the research you're bringing to the department or the research you're working in the department. So you're coming to the university or to the department with a topic, for instance, the effect of technology on climate change or something. And for the 2 years, you doing an intensive research on this topic. And at the end of the day, you'll be assessed mostly on this topic. So you don't take a number of classes. You might take 1 or 2 or 3 classes, but the emphasis for your assessment is on the research. But for a taught masters, you go to class, take your normal classes, your normal modules 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, as many as they can be. And at the end of the day, you take an exam on this module and you're assessed based on this exam. So, but these scholarships I'm talking about today are based on research. So you have to come to the department with a topic and, if possible, a research proposal. And then, if you do not know how to compile a research proposal, not to worry. There is a video on this channel on how to write a compelling research proposal. So I give an example with mine. My research proposal gave me 3 to 4 fully funded scholarships, and I shared how I wrote this proposal. And I think you could use the same format to get the attention of supervisors as well. And that brings me to my next point, supervisors. For you to undertake a research in a department, you need supervisors. You could always click here to see how to find supervisors in this university. And to find a supervisor, you have to show a relationship between what you intend to do in that department and what the supervisor is already doing. Because you're not just choosing any random person, or you're choosing somebody that has a specialty or an expertise in that field, like the field of climate change, field of politics, field of feminism, education, conflict. So you're looking for somebody in that field that can guide your research properly. So without a supervisor, it is difficult to get. It's difficult to get these scholarships. So this is how to find a supervisor here. This is find an expert. You click on this link, then type your research focus. You could type climate change, for instance. Climate change. And these are the professors in the university working on climate change. And what you're meant to do is to check their profile and see which professor best aligns with your interest. Then send the professor an email. Tell the professor you'd like to study at this university, at this department. Tell him the particular topic you're interested in, the particular questions as well you're interested in. For instance, the impact of technology on combating the climate crisis or something. And send him an email, tell him your background. First, introduce yourself. Tell him what you studied in undergrad. If you've done a master's already, tell him what you studied. Tell him your publication, if you published anything. Then tell him you want to study, or her that you want to study in this university, you want to undertake this particular research. And then tell him of the areas of convergence between his research and your research. It is important to say this. And also tell him that you were looking for funding. You're particularly applying for this funding, this Australian government research training program. Of course, attach your CV and a copy of probably your research proposal. So there are a number of key dates here, how to apply, a number of other kinds of information here. So if you're interested in this position, just sit down, read, digest the information. I've noticed that a number of people on this channel do not sit down to digest, to process the information on these scholarship websites, and they come either to the comment section or to my DM to ask questions already covered here. And most times I refer them back to this website. And that is why today I'm deliberately not including any link to any of these scholarships. I want you to dig it up yourself, or dig them up yourself. And it will teach you how to fish out scholarships, and then how to read and digest the info. Because a number of people will just come, rush down to the description box, take the links, and attempt to start applying without probably watching the video to the end, or without digesting how to actually find the supervisor and the documents you need to submit to the departments and things like that. So please, you have to be a little bit more deliberate when it comes to looking for opportunities. Take time to read, highlight, underline, and strategize. So this is at the University of Griffith, and as I told you, we have several other opportunities here. So Griffith is paying you 28,579. But this might differ depending on the university, depending on the location of the university and things like that. So for instance, University of Sydney, almost a similar scholarship as well. ROTP. ROTP means Research Training Program. But this is a scholarship present in a number of universities in Australia. So you could use this as a hack. Just go to Google, type a university in Australia, and type ROTP. Let me just show you an example. Let's see, University of Queensland, Australia. Okay, we put ROTP here, ROTP scholarship. Voila, there you go. So this is the ROTP scholarship of this university. So it is present in almost every university in Australia. And these ones I'm showing you today are just the examples, because there are several other universities in Australia offering similar opportunities. So on your own, you might not even restrict yourself to just these ones I'm showing. You could just go to Google, type the name of a Australian university and type RTP. And I'm confident you stumble on something that will catch your interest. Look at how I just found this one. From Google, I landed on the scholarship page of the University of Queensland, Australia. They're also paying quite well, 28,854 for a scholarship of 3.5 years. And this covers, yes, annually overseas student health coverage, living stipend, tuition. So you can see what I mean. And most of the application processes are quite similar. There might be differences here and there, but you have this family resemblances when it comes to applying for these scholarships. So this is that was Queensland, and this is University of Sydney. But this is paying quite high as well. Well, Sydney is like one of the biggest cities in the country, and this is paying 35,629. Of course, there are frequently asked questions session on how to go about it, how to look for a supervisor, look for a course, application requirements, so on and so forth. So here you have the amount you pay per annum for international student scholarship. Also helps you with overseas health cover. Okay. We still have more, guys. We have more universities. This is the University of New England, 28K, covers family overseas health insurance. That's beautiful. You also want to check whether they're covering masters and PhD. Some of them are just PhDs, some of them are both masters and PhD. So you want to make that distinction as well. So in case you're looking for master's opportunity, you're going to the university that also funds masters, because some of them are just for PhDs. I think this one is particularly for a PhD student, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think this is for a PhD student, if I'm correct. So there are some for masters and PhD. Some of them are just for PhD. This is also just for a PhD. This is University of Southern Queensland. And also take notice of the deadline. This is 30th of September, not so far away. So remember, it's important to look for a supervisor, to get the supervisor's approval, because you're doing a research. You can't carry out a research in a department without the blessing of the supervisor. So there you go, guys. So I've told you how to access some of these opportunities. Just go to Google, type the name of a university there in Australia, and type RTP, Research Training Program. That was how we got here. In case you do not know, names of universities in Australia. You could just type universities in Australia. Sorry. So these are some of the universities in Australia. So you could choose one of them and type RTP. It's as simple as that, guys. As simple as that. Let's try Flinders or Bond University, Australia. Bond University, Australia. Okay. RTP. So it takes you to the page. This is also closing 30th of September. So you see what I mean, guys? You see exactly what I mean. This is paying 28,597. And you can get the eligibility criteria and the other things, documents you need to submit, the proposal, transcripts, certificates, and things like that. So you see the point I'm trying to make, guys. They're not very difficult to find out in the first place. So take advantage of these numerous opportunities. And as I said, because of restrictions buying international students from getting into Australia, you could always show that you can start your program remotely. So while writing your statement of purpose or while writing your email to a professor, you tell the professor that in case you cannot join by either spring next year or by fall next year, you can start remotely in your home country. And by the time the restrictions are lifted, you always move to Australia. So show that you have like a PC where you can start studying online, or there's a lab you can start working before you move to Australia or something. This will help your application and show that you're making provisions in case things do not go as planned, in case the restrictions are still there. And that's it, guys. Thanks for listening today. I hope this was useful. Take advantage of these numerous opportunities. Search them out yourself, as I said, and choose one that best aligns with your interest. And until next time, guys, bye bye for now. We cannot wait to celebrate you. Good luck.